What will it take to resolve the question of Taiwan? Some people are worried about the possible use of force across the strait and that the younger generations are feeling less attached to their Chinese identity than their parents or grandparents. What can we learn from history? Can people on both sides muster enough wisdom to keep peace across the strait? Is this an issue with black or white answers? Welcome to a special edition of The Point with me, Li Xin, coming to you from Huangdi County near Xi'an, the capital city of northwest China's Shaanxi Province, where the terracotta warriors are found. My guest today is Lin Join-sein, former chairman of the Straits Exchange Foundation on Taiwan and a former senior official of the KMT, or the Nationalist Party. He has been visiting the mainland during the tomb sweeping holiday. I sat down with him right after he attended a grand ceremony to worship the Xuanyuan Yellow Emperor, regarded as the common ancestor of Chinese people around the world. Chairman Lin, welcome to The Point. First of all, you attended the ceremony to worship the Huangdi, which is considered the common ancestor of the Chinese people. You were there at the ceremony. How did you feel, and what do you think is so important to participate, to remember that common ancestor?
是，我想现任皇帝是我们中华民族的人文始祖。那么在5000多年前呢，他就。
I think Xuanyuan Huangdi, or the Yellow Emperor, is the cultural ancestor of the Chinese nation. More than 5,000 years ago, Huangdi defeated Shiryou, and the tribes of Yandi and Huangdi merged. That was the beginning of Chinese history and civilization.
他发明了指南车，那么也跟很多民生方面的一个成就啊，那么得到国人，尤其是炎黄子孙的敬仰。
Huangdi invented the south-pointing chariot. He helped improve people's livelihood. Thus, Chinese descendants admire him. I'm originally from Jiangpu County in Jiangzhou, Fujian Province. As a Chinese descendant, we genuinely admire Xuanyuan Huangdi.
是非常的敬仰。那么这次有这样一个福缘，是他们公祭的这样一个执行单位啊，特别。 希望说现在疫情已经过去了。
It is a great honor for me to come here. One of the organizations involved in the ceremony reached out to me and said the pandemic has passed, and they hoped I can attend this ceremony. I gladly accepted and came. Respecting ancestors is an ethics and philosophy shared by all Chinese descendants.
祖先呢，就是我们炎黄子孙，大家这个。 共有的一个伦理理念所以我来这边参加这个公祭之前呢，我在4月3号在台湾。
Before I came here, I swept the tomb with family in Taiwan on April 3 and worshipped my ancestors. Then I arrived there to attend this ceremony. I was very excited. I watched the entire ceremony and its meaning. It fully respects ancient rituals, representing our reverence for our ancestor Xuanyuan Huangdi.
里边的内涵呢，那么可以说是完全遵古礼。那么那一种就是表示对我们先贤皇帝、我们的始祖的一个崇敬啊。那么在这个过程当中呢
I felt a little excited when I went to lay the bouquet during the process. I believe this is an excellent opportunity for us to showcase the Chinese culture of filial piety and ethics, emphasizing the importance of respecting our ancestors and remembering our roots.
饮水思源这样一个非常好的那么理念呢，能够展示在国人的面前。那我想不只光台湾了。
People from Taiwan and even people around the world will be able to recognize this valuable cultural concept. Seeing such a ceremony will also help people from other countries appreciate Chinese culture.
仪式也会感到对中华文化的一个那么认同。
But it seems that there is the phenomenon that the general public, especially the younger generation on Taiwan, are feeling less and less Chinese. It seems that The people on Taiwan, especially the younger generation on Taiwan, are less attached to their Chinese identity. How do you look at that?
是的，那么台湾人民祖籍大部分都来自大陆啊，那么所以也都是炎黄子孙。那么两岸。
For the majority of the people in Taiwan, their ancestral roots are from the Chinese mainland, so we are all Chinese descendants. Both sides of the Chinese Straits share the same cultural roots, history, bloodline, and language. Since we share similar cultural and geographical backgrounds, cross-strait relations are, in fact, inseparable.
事实上是密不可分的。那么，在台湾这些既然都是中华儿女，我想也都承袭相同的文化，啊，大家也都对于我们的这样一个
Since we are all Chinese descendants, we inherit the same culture, which includes a deep respect for our ancestors and a firm adherence to the principles of filial piety. People on the mainland and in Taiwan all take pride in promoting the traditional Chinese culture. We cherish our history and roots and worship Xuanyuan Huangdi very much.
那么台湾人当然既然都是中华儿女，也会饮水思源，都不会忘本啊。那么所以在台湾。 这些炎黄祖孙一样是对我们的先任皇帝是非常崇敬的。
It seems that there are people on Taiwan who identify with the Chinese culture, but not as their identity as a Chinese. Is that so? How do you look at that?
台湾2300万人，它是一个多元的社会。那多元的社会啊，当然有很多人。
Taiwan has a population of 23 million in a diverse society. In a diverse community, people naturally have different ideas. Some identify strongly with Chinese culture, ancestry, and country, while others have different beliefs and ideas.
那当然也有人，他有不同的理念跟想法，啊，那不要说是台湾。
The Chinese mainland has a population of 1.4 billion people, and there is also diversity. Everyone's thoughts and opinions are not entirely the same. Though we may have different beliefs or ideas, as long as we are Chinese descendants, we all must forge closer bonds of hearts and minds of people on both sides of the Taiwan Straits and work together toward national rejuvenation and revitalization.
复兴、振兴的这样一个方向来共同努力。
What is the best option for the future of Taiwan?
那我想
The best option is peaceful development for Taiwan and the mainland. Only peaceful development can serve the greatest interests of people on both sides of the Taiwan Straits.
So what exactly do you mean by peaceful development? That we keep the status quo the way it is across the strait, or the two sides eventually and officially become reunited as part of one country?
那这个当然，这个我想这个必须，这个整个大目标大方向啊，是就是说我们两岸。
Definitely, peaceful reunification is the ultimate goal. Across the straits, we share the same bloodline, so we must never go to war. As for what kind of system can achieve integrated development, we must first bring the hearts of people on both sides together. Who should do this job? Every Chinese descendant must do so.
就公治水来做，每一个炎黄祖孙啊，都有这个义务去做。能够只要两岸。
Once the hearts of the people on both sides are in sync, we will all hope for peaceful, integrated development. Under this circumstance, everyone must work towards the future of the Chinese nation for the well-being of the people, for the greater good of both sides and the happiness of the people. We should all strive together towards this goal.
最大利益，为了人民的幸福啊，我们应该共同朝这个目标来努力。
What is the biggest obstacle standing in the way in your eyes?
因为每一个人都多元的社会，每一个意见都有很多不同的意见嘛，所以这意见一定要。
In a diverse society, everyone has their own opinions, requiring great wisdom to be merged effectively. As I mentioned earlier, the concept and method of integration require us to use wisdom, which is not always easy, especially when dealing with a large group of people.
是那么多人的一个组合。
Taiwan has a population of 23 million, and the Chinese mainland has a population of 1.4 billion. Even within a single family, it can be challenging to reconcile differing opinions. However, for the sake of our family's future and happiness, every member must strive towards the most favorable goal, which is peaceful and integrated development.
Do you think things are developing towards that direction, that vision of yours?
因为台湾，你看，这个有时候国民党执政，有时候。
In Taiwan, sometimes the Kuomintang comes to power. Sometimes the DPP does. There have been two alternations of party in power. The party in power has its own ideas and directions, but the people are still the same, and they expect to live happy and prosperous lives.
人民所期望的，就是过幸福美满的生活，就是安居乐业，就是啊。
They want peace, which is priceless, as war is ruthless. No one wants to see armed conflicts. Everyone hopes to coexist harmoniously. However, achieving this goal requires everyone's effort.
那相处啊，但是怎么样能够达到目标？我想就是大家都要努力，就好像我们同一个家庭。
It's like we're one big family and want to make our family happier and more prosperous, with a better future ahead. Just like a family, we need harmony and unity to thrive. It sounds simple, but it takes effort from everyone to achieve this goal.
但是要达到这样，讲是简单，那需要大家的努力。
It seems there are people who do not agree with the vision that the mainland, or people on the mainland and people on Taiwan, belong to the same family.
所以我说多元社会才说。
We live in a diverse society. Things would be much simpler if everyone had the same thoughts and ideas. However, we need to work hard to achieve unity because of our differences. Integrating our ideas requires wisdom and effort.
How do you look at the impact of external influences? And I'm sure you know what I mean by external influences or external intervention.
这个任何一个情势的发展。
I understand that both our subjective opinions and external factors influence any situation's development. However, I empathize the need for wisdom. Simply put, external influences don't necessarily dictate our actions. We must use our wisdom to assess whether these influences are beneficial.
不能说人言亦言，那人家怎么说你？
Blindly following others is not the answer, as we must have our own thoughts and ideas. Our goal is to revitalize our family and promote happiness and harmony. This same principle applies to our country, as a family is a microcosm of a nation.
这个道理一样。那国跟家是一样，家是国的缩影。
When you talk about integrated development, do you mean reunification?
怎么样的一个状况啊，是对我们整个两岸同胞是最有利。我跟他讲得很清楚了，主要两岸一定要和平发展，是最符合两岸人民的。
What is the most favorable situation for our compatriots on both sides of the Taiwan Straits? As I mentioned earlier, peaceful development between the two sides is the most in line with the fundamental interests of the people on both sides. Both sides must use wisdom, be tolerant, strengthen mutual trust, and enhance consensus to achieve peaceful development.
我们以前9·2共识，那9·2共识怎么来的呢？就是当时的那么海基会，这是1992年的哈。台湾是海峡交流基金会。
I served in the Straits Exchange Foundation for many years, so I know the cross-Straits relations and the formation of the 1992 consensus very well. In 1992, Ku Chun-fu was the first chairman of the SEF. Our mainland counterpart is the Association for Relations Across the Taiwan Straits, or ARATS. Wang Daohan was the first chairman of ARATS at that time. These two leaders had great wisdom and they met in Hong Kong.
那么当时两会用的大智慧是什么呢？就是中央干部大家在香港会商，会商当然我刚才讲就是。
I have just said that so many people are on both sides of the Taiwan Straits. It was challenging to integrate different ideas. They didn't reach a conclusion in Hong Kong immediately. After several exchanges of letters, phone calls, and official documents, we finally got a consensus. The consensus, in simple terms, is that both sides agree to express the One China principle through verbal declarations, which turns it into a mutual agreement between the two sides.
就双方同意用口头声明的方式，各自来表达一个中国的原则。那么这个就是求同存异。
The principle was seeking common ground while reserving differences. What was the common ground they sought? Both sides adhered to the One China principle, the primary common ground. However, they had different understandings of what One China meant, which was a minor difference. This minor difference could not be resolved immediately, but it did not matter. They put it aside and focused on the common ground. As for the minor difference, they would shelve it for now and gradually work it out with time and wisdom. The ultimate goal was to turn differences into the common ground through patient negotiation.
就是用智慧，那还需要时间，还需要大家来好好再商量。
But it seems that time is not on our side, meaning the longer the issue remains unresolved, the less likely it is for people on both sides to reunite with each other. What is your view? Some people are saying we should reunite with each other as fast as possible.
你刚才这个理念这个想法啦，那我也非常。
I like your idea. The integration of both sides needs wisdom. Some young people in Taiwan have been influenced. The current government has its ideas after the political party in power in Taiwan underwent 2 alternations. However, we are going to have regional leadership elections in January 2024. In the recent local elections, the Kuomintang Party won a sweeping victory.
我们像这次的地方大选，那中国国民党就大获全胜啊。那明年1月也不会是。
It's already April. Next January is not too far away. So, in about 6 months, we will have another opportunity for the people to choose. This opportunity is not about doing whatever we want, but for the entire population to make a choice. What do we choose? We prefer happy families, a happy life, a prosperous country, and a future with potential.
富强的国家，选择有前途的这样方向。我想民众就会做有。
I believe that people will make wise choices. To ensure that happens, candidates and parties participating in the election must persuade the people by presenting their ideas and concepts. Taiwan is a society of freedom, democracy, and diversity. To persuade people, we must use our wisdom for our happiness.
这个就是我们必须要用智慧的时候，为我们自己的幸福，我们要发智慧。
Do you think force will be used on the Taiwan Strait? What's the likelihood of a direct military conflict breaking out across the strait?
这个状况有多大可能性？我想这是取决于两岸人民，取决于两岸的。
The likelihood of this situation depends on the people and governments on both sides of the Taiwan Straits. If the people of both sides do not want it to happen, it will not happen.
都不愿意发生，我相信它不会发生啊。那么一样啊，两岸的执政者假使也都。
Similarly, if the leaders on both sides are unwilling to let our people suffer, then it is unlikely. So I say both sides need to be tolerant and considerate towards each other. We are all one family, bound by blood and kinship. We cannot and should not engage in war and hostility against each other.
一家亲，血浓于水， 骨肉亲情，不可能兵戎相向，也不应该兵戎相向。
Thank you, Mr. Lin. And with that, we come to the end of this edition of The Point with me, Li Xin, coming to you from Huangdi in northwest China's Shaanxi Province. As usual, you can follow me on Facebook and Twitter using the handle Li Xin in Beijing. On behalf of the whole team, thank you for watching. You've got the point. Making sense of the overwhelming wave of information means cutting through the noise to shine a light on the heart of the story and making room for new perspectives. True understanding means the ability to see events from more than one side. I'm Li Xin, and this is The Point.
我们大家是一家人，两岸同胞都是中国人。那中国人有什么样的一个内部的问题、矛盾？因为历史遗留的这些对立，应该由我们中国人自己来解决，也就是自家人的事。由我们自家人坐下来好好谈。过去其实美国他在和中国政府建交的时候，也都通过了我们说中美的3个联合公报，也讲得很清楚。那么呢，充分的尊重中国的主权，并且呢也了解到，就是中国人的问题应该是由海峡两岸的中国人自己来解决。但是现在我们看到很多美国政客呢，他为了他自己的私利，那么去操作台湾问题，那甚至变成说美国国内呢，好像变成利用台湾问题逞凶斗狠来比赛。看哪个政客、哪个政党更敢来这个挑战中国的红线，更敢来挑衅中国的主权，似乎这样就表现说他们好像比较英勇的样子。其实我觉得这个是非常危险的一个举动。那么美国的朋友也应该要认识到，就是说美国的国家利益应该建立在，就是呢美国自己呢将自己的问题处理好，对自己充满信心。那么太平洋之广绝对是容得下中美两国共同的发展，为全世界的人类贡献我们的心力，这个才是正确的道路。不要再搞这种对立对抗，去破坏中国主权的事情。
这个每一次都怀着一个慎终追远的一种心情来的嘛，这个两岸同根同源嘛。其实这个来这种参加这个活动，应该多让年轻人来，因为现在这个台湾的年轻人呢，这个被民进党这个篡改教科书以后啊，对两岸这个的历史啊，这个越来越薄弱了。我们应该也在引导多一点年轻人的学子来到这边参加像是类似这样的活动，让他正确的了解两岸的历史，两岸中国的这个历史，了解到他们身上所背负的历史的使命是什么。其实我觉得这个台独啊，一直以来都是个假议题啊，它是不可能会实现的。是民进党政府利用这种手段来骗取选票用的啊。那作为我们这一代的60年代的人，50年代，我们是外省第2代啊。我觉得两岸应该在我们这一代要解决掉，要不然在下一代的话，我觉得对他们的包袱太重了。而且这个仅在2000年的时候，政党轮替的时候，民进党取得第一次政权的时候，改了很多的这个教科书这个误导了很多的这个中国这个两岸的这些历史正确历史，导致了台湾的年轻人没有办法正视这些东西。所以呢，我们其实也尽了很多的力量这个来导正台湾的年轻人这种观念深切的了解两岸的这个渊源跟历史，然后他们身上所应该要流传的是哪些东西他们应该自己要有这个认知可是蛮遗憾的这个在2016年这个 民进党再次的拿到这个执政权以后呢，这个案牍还是不断在进行中啊，这是我们看到蛮忧心的了。可是我坚信啊，两岸终究还是会统一的。
为什么您坚信两岸还是会统一？
因为这是大势所趋，啊，这是不可能改变的东西。因为我们是中国人啊，台湾本来就是祖国大陆的一部分，那是不可分割的一部分。委员长当时到台湾的时候，也不愿意去独立的。蒋委员长也是一直秉持的要统一啊。可能老先生过世有点早，金国先生也过世有点早，蛮遗憾的。
那这个统一，如果有的人说我们通过和平协商的方式统一不了的话，您觉得武统可以接受吗？因为这个在国际上确实是一个非常敏感的话题。
其实我觉得两岸不需要走到那个份上去的。中国人有很伟大的这种的思想观念，也是秉承的和善儒家思想，尤其是我们两岸同根同源，不需要有战争的。而且现在我也相信现在的领导人有着强大的智慧，能够处理到这一段的。因为这一段的两岸和平统一啊，在我个人认为，根本就不需要动用武力了。这武统对台湾对两岸来讲是太大伤害，毕竟台湾还有很大的一部分是希望和平统一的人，所以应该随着这个时间的推移啊，再加上祖国大陆的不断在进步啊，而且进步的程度相当快。我来祖国大陆已经今年刚好满30年了，我见证了祖国大陆的发展啊，也感谢祖国大陆给我们广大的台胞哈很多的这个机会，而且非常的好的这个创业的一个环境啊，让我们台湾的同胞还有年轻的学子啊得到很多的实惠。那随着这种的情况继续再往下走下去啊，让更多的台湾的年轻人要看到祖国大陆的发展，要看到祖国大陆的将来的在全球的定位性。我相信祖国大陆在不久的将来肯定是全球最大经济体，台湾离祖国大陆只有一步之遥，怎么能分割？
最后我想问一下，台湾到底有多少人支持和大陆统一？因为我们在西方的媒体上总是听到年轻人说不愿意、不认同，但事实上有多少人心里实际上是向往统一？
其实我在2018年的时候，我说过一件事情啊，就是在一个会议上头，我希望两岸的媒体啊，不要再去报道这个国民党、民进党、民进党、国民党，我觉得那没多大用处，应该要报道统一后的台湾是什么台湾，统一后的台湾的人民能享受到什么样的一种待遇，这才是比较重要的。